the last video, we talked about subsidies, and since 1922, the United States government has actually been subsidizing the market for corn. We figured out the cost of this subsidy for corn in this example market would be $12,000 based on the price of the subsidy, $1 per unit, and the quantity sold, 12,000. Now let's look at how subsidies affect social welfare. Just like we use taxes to maximize social welfare, we can use subsidies to maximize social welfare too. Everyone benefits from overconsumption of certain goods. We looked at a video earlier of automatically braking cars, saving Ryan Reynolds and these dogs from being hit by a car. That's a positive externality, and if we subsidize these types of vehicles, we'll get a positive externality and benefits added to our social welfare from overconsumption. Federal government subsidizes roads and road construction, which leads to us having more roads available to drive on, which is a positive externality for each individual, not just the localities who have paid for those roads. So if you drive from Ohio to Kentucky, Kentucky pays for the roads in Kentucky, Ohio pays for the roads in Ohio. But if you drive across state lines, you're getting a benefit for something that you don't pay for. And everyone benefits from overconsumption of schools. If we all go to school for longer, we all have more education, and we're all able to talk and communicate better, thus improving the lives of all the citizens. So remember, when we're calculating social welfare is just the private benefit plus our external benefit. So let's dive a little further into our automatic braking cars, saving Ryan Reynolds in Ryanville. So if we drive automatically braking cars, we have fewer accidents. So one automatic braking vehicle has an external benefit of $10,000 for our example. After calculating the benefit, the government decides to subsidize demand by giving consumers of automatically braking cars a $10,000 tax break. And this can be seen as a subsidy on automatically braking cars. By adding $10,000 to every point on the private demand curve, the social demand curve is created. So remember, when we were taxing units, our demand fell. Now that we're subsidizing these units, our demand is going to increase. The cost of the subsidy is going to be the area of this purple rectangle, just the price times the quantity. So the price is going to be $25,000 minus $15,000, or $10,000, which is the tax break that we're giving everyone who buys an automatically braking car. And our quantity is going to be down here, 5,000. We're going to sell 5,000 of these cars. So the area here is going to be 10,000 times 5,000, or 50,000. How are consumer surplus and producer surplus affected here? Well, we have the original market here on the left with demand 1. And we can see over here in our new market, this orange triangle has grown, and so has the blue triangle. I'll let you all figure out what happens to each one, calculate them manually by yourself. But how is our total surplus affected? Total surplus we can see in the old market was this red triangle, and in our new market, we have paid for this subsidy, and then we have this yellow area, which is not deadweight loss, it's just increased total surplus. So all of this can be included in our total surplus. Our total surplus is now increased. Instead of this little red triangle, we have this red triangle, this purple parallelogram, and this yellow triangle. And all of that combined makes our total surplus. So we can see total surplus in the first market is calculated by 1/2 base times height, the area of this red triangle. Our height over here is 40,000, so 1/2 of 40,000 times 4,000 will give us our total surplus, or $80,000. In our second market, our height is now $50,000, so 1/2 of $50,000 times 5,000 will give us $125,000. So total surplus has actually increased by $45,000. So at this point in the course, you should be able to calculate consumer surplus, producer surplus, tax revenue, deadweight loss, and total surplus, both in a tax and in a subsidized situation, and both where we have a positive or negative externality.